Now, as promised, I want to give you what I consider to be the most powerful quick fix, or the most powerful tool in the world. I call it the power pause. And basically what that means is to, when you're in the midst of any emotional response at all, you pause. Just like you're watching a DVD player and you stop it or you pause it, you completely stop. You pause and you don't respond to it at all. Now I want to explain why this is so effective. And I want to share with you a concept called creating your space. Now this is something I got from Viktor Frankl. Viktor Frankl is a Holocaust survivor who wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning about his experience in the concentration camp. He's got a lot of famous quotes, and one of my favorites goes like this: between a stimulus and a response, there's a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. So let's say this finger here represents traffic, and let's say this finger here represents frustration. What happens for a lot of us is these two things are 100% connected. Traffic absolutely leads to frustration every single time. Meaning there's no space, there's no opportunity to even have a chance to respond in a different way. The idea is that when we learn to pause, we start to create a space. And when we create that space, we can get to our frontal lobe and we can make a much better decision that can and will lead to another new connection. Let me show you a little picture here that can explain a little bit better. So notice when you have that pause, you are literally bypassing that stress box. You're getting to your frontal lobe where you can now make a much better decision that's going to move you forward. Now, every single time that you pause or you do something to prevent yourself from going into that stress box, you are in effect making those connections inside there weaker, and you're strengthening the connections that are going to have you doing something that's much more productive every single time. But again, it can happen so quickly, it's so easy to get back in there. That's why I think the power pause, meaning just not doing anything at all, just stopping, freeze framing. Again, just like you're looking at a DVD player, you freeze frame and you do nothing. What happens is that gives you a chance for that emotion to pass before you get into that stress box. So the power pause I find to be the most powerful tool in the world when it comes to managing your emotions. Now, as you can see, this is an incredibly simplified approach for stress reduction. But the truth of the matter is, making it an integral part of your life can be very tricky, and it can be very difficult, and it takes a real commitment. And it really means change. And no matter what anybody tells you, change is difficult, no question about it. But this always reminds me of one of my favorite influences, Deepak Chopra. And one of his books is entitled The 7 Laws of Spiritual Success. And one of his laws is entitled The Law of Least Effort. Meaning we should always be doing what takes least effort. Now when it comes to change, or not changing, we really have two choices. Not changing means, of course, not doing anything. And when we do that, we have chronic, long-term pain that basically never goes away, meaning daily stress. Stress is just a normal part of life, and it never really goes away. On the flip side, when we decide that we want to change and we want to do what's easier, well, that means tolerating short-term periods of more sharp pain that always leads to personal growth, more joy, and less stress. Now the choice is yours, but what I have found from my own personal experience is that it's so much easier to commit to change than it is to stay exactly the same and wait for something or someone outside of us to make us feel better about our lives. But it's really up to you to do it. Nobody can do it for you. You have to make the changes yourself if you really want to see improvement in your life. But I would love to help you to figure out how you can begin to make some of those changes for yourself. Now what I am offering is not a program, because programs by definition are limited. What I am offering is a framework that you can use so that you can develop your own program, your own system that works for you. Because the truth of the matter is that we all really are different, and not everything works the same for everybody. However, there are a lot of universal concepts that really do apply to all of us. And that's really my area of expertise, is helping people to understand what those universal concepts are and how you can apply them to your life. What I'm going to be offering in 2008 is a free weekly telecall we're going to discuss some of these universal concepts, and you're going to get a chance to ask some questions and to get some coaching so you can see how you can apply this information to your life. Now, you're welcome to join these calls and to ask questions, or you're welcome just to join these calls and listen in, because we really can learn a lot just from listening to other people. Again, there are a lot of universal things that apply to all of us, and I want to help you to figure out how those things work for you in your life. So visit www.livinglogically.com and sign up for my subscriber list. I'm going to use that to send out emails and to announce when the classes are going to take place and how you can access those calls. If you'd like more personalized assistance, you really want someone who can really help you to develop your own personalized roadmap and how to use this information, I'm always available for a complimentary coaching consultation. If you go to my website, you can find out information on how to contact me. Now, I'd also love to hear your feedback. If you're using this information and it's helping you in any way at all, or any feedback at all, I'd love to hear about it. The more I hear from you what works and what doesn't work, the more I can fine-tune my approach and help more people. So please email me at dan@livinglogically.com if you have any feedback or any questions at all, and I'd love to hear from you.